Hey, greetings everyone. Happy Friday. Glenn Calloway from his basement. GK in the B. Um, Today I want to talk about an album. I'm going to say an album I hated and now I love. It's a band I hated and now I love. So we're talking about Genesis, and we're talking about this album, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. This came out in 1974. I paid no attention to it. The only thing I knew about Genesis is I would see pictures of Peter Gabriel dressed up like a flower or something, and I thought that's not for me. That's kind of artsy and everything. Give me a Led Zeppelin album. Anyway, so I just never gave these guys a chance, and I always just thought I just don't like them. That was just the way I was at the time. So anyway, fast forward years, for some reason I got into Steve Hackett's solo stuff, and then started getting into his live albums, playing with the Genesis songs and everything, and then going to see Steve Hackett at Massey Hall, and then going, geez, these songs are so good, and he performs them so well. I'm starting to dig these songs. How can I got to give Genesis a try. So there's a few albums, Selling England by the Pound, Foxtrot, albums like that I started to like, but The Lamb was the last one for me. And I'd play it and I'd go, I don't know if I can get through this. Is this just a bunch of pompous nonsense? And then for some reason, one day I got to play the whole thing, and I listened intently. I thought, this is a really interesting record. And I played it a few more times, and I absolutely love it. I think it's frickin' brilliant. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit about it. And like I said, it came out in 1974. It's the last album with Peter Gabriel as part of the band. It made number 10 in the UK charts, number 41 in the US. Was a disappointment in sales after Selling England by the Pound, which I think was their biggest selling album at the time. The most successful album, most successful tour. That album really kind of had all kind of the little things about England and the UK and everything. And when they decided to make their next album, first thing they decided was they wanted to make a double album. Second thing is they wanted to focus more on a theme that would be more accessible to North American audiences, so they decided to do a theme based on more American type themes rather than British type themes. Peter Gabriel had this idea for a story, and he said he wanted to do it, and he presented it to the band, and they agreed to do it. But the one thing Peter insisted on, that he write all the lyrics. He said there's no way he could collaborate with anyone on the lyrics for this story. The band members weren't too happy about that. This is probably the first kind of falling out any of these guys had in terms of music as a band. And Peter comes up with this story about a guy named Rael. He's a troubled youth from New York City who's taken on an introspective journey of self-discovery and faces things that lead to a transformation spiritually and whatever, da-da-da-da-da. It sounds pompous, doesn't it? So Peter writing the lyrics, and also at the same time had his wife and him had just had a child, and he was also asked to work on a screenplay with William Friedkin. So his you can tell he was starting to kind of have other interests outside the band. Plus he was kind of isolating himself in a room writing lyrics, and expected the band just to come up with all these arrangements and come up with all these songs, instrumental music really, and then they would put the lyrics to the music that the band members were writing. So right away there's like Peter here and the rest of the band here. So you can see where it's heading this way, why this would be the last album. Anyway, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. There's the cover. You want to read the story? There you go. That's like a freaking book. That's like War and Peace on the inside of an album cover. Look at that. Look at the small writing. Look at that. Who's got, talk about, unbelievable. The album sounds really good, for one thing. It's a great, well-recorded album, and it's really good with headphones. It's a headphone album. Tracks, well, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, I actually really love that song now. Fly on a Windshield, I think, is awesome. Counting Out Time. I think the last 3 songs on the first album are great. Counting Out Time, The Carpet Crawlers, which would be a top 10, maybe top 5 Genesis song for me, is next, followed by a great song called The Chamber of 32 Doors that has some really nice guitar playing from Steve Hackett. Now, a lot of people, when you read about this, they say a lot of people think the second side is kind of boring. This album's kind of bloated or something, but I think it's great. That was the first thing when I was reading about this album before I really gave it a serious listen. As people said, side 2 is just not as good as side 1. I disagree. I think the whole album is strong. As a matter of fact, this has become Foxtrot is kind of, well, Selling England by the Pound. The more I'm listening to Genesis, which I'm doing a lot, Selling England by the Pound was, to me, the most accessible album, the easiest to fall in love with, and that was my favorite. But then Foxtrot had so many great songs on it. That became my favorite album. And then the more I listen to Lamb, the more I'm going, like, this is just, it's so good. So I'm kind of leaning towards this being my favorite Genesis album. It's between this and Foxtrot. I think it's fantastic. They are putting out a 50th anniversary issue of this. I believe it's delayed now till September. It was supposed to be out in March, then it was supposed to be out in June, then it was supposed to be out in August, and now I'm hearing September 25th. It has a Blu-ray Atmos edition. There's a 4-album edition. There's a multi-disc CD box set edition. What they're doing is putting this album out, and it's entirely remixed. I think Abbey Road Studio, one of those half-speed masters, Abbey Road. I could be wrong there, but I think so. And they are including the live show of Lamb Lies Down on Broadway from the Shrine Auditorium in LA from 1975, I think. And I have that. If you have, there was a box set called Genesis Archives, 1967 to 1975, I think. That's included in that set. So I already have that live album, but I understand that that's missing a couple of tracks. The encores, I think, was Watcher the Skies, and maybe the musical box might have been the second track. So anyway, they've added the encores in. It's going to be remixed and everything. So I'm actually going to buy the thing. I hope it's not going to be too much money, but I'm looking right now like around the $200 range, which I think is kind of high for 4 records, but we'll see. If I have the cash, I definitely want to get it, because the album sounds great. This is a reissue, I'm sure. My vinyl is right here, but really, this is, I mean, don't turn your ears off. I guess that's the lesson learned, right? Don't assume something. I just don't think I'm gonna like that. Like, it really, I hate that I did that, and I hate to see other people do that. It's too bad that people don't give something a serious chance and see how good it is. So anyway, that's it. Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Let me know if there's any albums for you that you're kind of dislike took for a while to understand or get into or something like that. And we will see you later. Thank you.